Europa League time, and who better to talk about this day and these predictions than Pedro?
That's right, my friend. That's right, my friend. I'm glad to be back and glad that Sporting is into the quarterfinals of the Europa League against top of the league Arsenal. We beat them. I didn't think it was possible, to be fair, before the game started. But once again, Sporting showed the Europe and the world what we're capable of, okay? And yeah, I just want to say that I was really downbeat when Sporting were knocked out of the Champions League. But maybe it's the best thing for us. Maybe we can go all the way in the Europa League. Who knows? I mean, do you see how much the players appreciate it in market value just by beating Arsenal? It's way more than if Sporting had just gone through the group stage in the Champions League.
No.
Alex, I don't agree with you, because if you look at the likes of Saint-Just, Diomande, Gonçalo Inácio, just the three center backs in this game, in my opinion, are worth 5 or 10 million more.
I agree.
Than they were before.
Agree, like,
okay, so there's just 30 million right there. Okay,
you are going bold straight
and
from the start.
not to mention the other players. The wonder goal by Pedro Gonçalves.
Puskás.
Oh my word! I don't know. It's gonna be between Pote and Nuno Santos, because the week before he scored the Letra goal. Almost from outside of the box, which will be a contender as well. But yeah, I think both goals will be top in the discussion.
People, please like this video, okay? If you're enjoying, straight off the bat, Pedro is going bold, okay? I love to see it. And look, the comment about the Champions League, I agree to disagree. I agree that a lot of increase has happened in the Sporting team because of this win with Arsenal. But if you go through in the Champions League, you win from the Champions League a ton of money. I think it's 30 million, plus you increase in value too of the players. And I agree partially though.
Yeah, but the likelihood was we would be knocked out in the first knockout stage.
Was like type beat.
Exactly. It depends on the luck you have in the draw. But then again, I really think it was the best thing for us to go to the Europa League, because I think our chances might have gone up to win a title this season.
And how do you think Juventus? Can Sporting beat Juventus, in your opinion?
In my opinion, Juve was the worst possible draw for Sporting. And I tell you this because Juve is practically out of the competition for the top 4 spots in the Italian league, okay? They're 8 points behind the 4th spot. It's going to be really hard for them to clinch Champions League.
It will be hard, yeah.
So this is their focus this season. Our chance to get to the Champions League is by winning Europa League. So that's why Juve is the worst possible draw for Sporting. But then again,
United would be one of the worst.
Yeah, because United wants to win it as well. Their situation is practically stable in the league. I think the 3rd spot will most likely be guaranteed by United. So I think their chips will be all in Europa League as well.
But and Marcus Rashford can be said as the best player this season in the Europa League. 6 goals in the competition. Yeah,
Marcus Rashford is hitting up the competition this year. Really glad to see it. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't think Marcus Rashford, at a certain point, I didn't think he was going to reach this height. Okay, I think his best days were behind, and he was not going to improve this much. But Ten Hag worked hard on Rashford, okay? He brought back the beast we saw when he was 17 years old, first coming into the United first team, okay? Marcus Rashford is a top-notch player.
And Benny McCarthy had a big role too, assistant coach in Man United. And yeah,
a Champions League winner, Benny McCarthy.
And going back to what you said, South African legend. Oh, my days with Porto with Mourinho too. Mourinho that still is in the competition too. That if Mourinho manages to do the impossible, and maybe even beating Man United in the final, if Man United beats Sevilla, Mourinho will win. No, if Mourinho wins the Europa League, he wins the Conference League the year before and the Europa League the year after.
That would be a slap in the face of the United board.
That would be insane if it happens. And historical too. And then once again, Mourinho would say, I am the king of European competitions as a manager.
Yeah, and I think he would be the first manager to win back-to-back European competitions twice. Because he did it with Porto, the Europa League and the Champions League at the time.
True.
And now doing it with Roma conference in the Europa League. And let's not forget that the Europa League nowadays isn't what Europa League was like 20 years ago, okay?
It's much harder.
It's much harder because there are the level of the competition, it's much higher. You have better teams who invested much more than they used to in the past. So yeah, it's much harder. And if you look at the left side of the bracket at the Europa League quarterfinals, basically it's Champions League level teams. You have United there, Sevilla, who has won like 6 times the Europa League in the last 20 years. Sporting, who's is doing pretty well this season. Juve, which is used to be in the quarterfinals of the Champions League year in, year out.
Well, that was pretty shocking. Pretty shocking for Sporting. Once again, Arsenal was beaten for Sporting to be in that position.
Of course, and if you beat Arsenal, at this time, you can beat any team in the world.
And I'm going to give huge praise, man. Rúben Amorim, Sporting lost Matheus Nunes in the summer. Sporting lost Pedro Porro in January. And Rúben Amorim, with the players he
and
has...
And hold it right there. Don't forget that we didn't have our captain, Sebastian Coates, and Hidemaza Mori. I agree with you.
I agree with you. I agree with you. Of Sporting, Diamant, for me, must start... he's the main starter.
Listen, I get you, but in a game of this importance, when you lose your captain, it's a tough move for the locker room.
Put Esugu, the first game for the first team this year in 2023, he puts an 18-year-old.
That's straight damn courage right there.
Just turned 18,
That's
and Dario Esugu has elite potential, okay? He could be in the Youth League, because shout out to Sporting being in one of the 4 finalists of the Youth League. Shermiti could be there, Dario Esugu could be there, and Fatawu that scored a hat-trick could be in that team of the Youth League. But they are with the top in the Europa League with Rúben Amorim.
Do you know why I think Dario Esugu will be a top player? If you look at this match, it was the most important match he played in his career, okay? First time he touched the ball, he messed up. He gave the ball to Trossard, okay? And Trossard was going... But if he wasn't a quality player or a player that has a winning mentality, Dario Esugu would have lost his mind from there on. But no, he kept his focus and he did a pretty decent game afterwards.
Completely.
After the first mistake, first time he touched the ball, it's a mistake. It completely trashes your mentality for most of the players, but Dario Esugu kept his composure afterwards, and that's why I think he's going to be a top player.
I really agree with great analysis from that, because going forward, on the break, fast break, physically, he can do the right pass, he can shoot to the ball. Dario Esugu is an all-around great young midfielder.
But Alex, talking about defensive midfielders, let's talk about Manuel Ugarte.
Manuel Ugarte.
Monstrous performance by Manuel Ugarte against Arsenal. Man, he was everywhere. In the last minute, in the 118th minute, he was running like hell, covering the entire pitch. The man is crazy. Manuel Ugarte was crazy. Yeah, that red card was a little bit...
just proves that he's Uruguayan when he gets that red card.
And it had to be made, okay? Arsenal were in a fast break. Last minute of the game, okay, he was just, I'm going to kill this right here. We can hold it until we get to the pens. So, yeah, that's what he did. And for me, he was, in my opinion, man of the match.
Do you think Ugarte is at the level to go to a Chelsea and be the partner of Enzo Fernandez?
Didn't he prove that against Arsenal?
So you reckon he could?
I reckon. And the thing about Manuel Ugarte is he always had this intensity, but on the ball he has improved so much in the last few months.
Now, off ball, he's one of the best defensive young midfielders in the world.
Yeah, just imagine the scary partnership at Uruguay with Ugarte and Valverde at the midfield.
And Bentancur.
But this is crazy, man. Scary midfield.
It's very true. Great point. And I wanted to ask you too. Gonçalo Inácio was called up for the Portuguese national team. Fantastic. Left-footed centre-back too. What you reckon with all this?
Deservedly so. I was hoping for Gonçalo Inácio to be called a long time ago. I think he's probably the best ball-playing defender Portugal has, okay? Not defending-wise, but on the ball, I think he's the best one, making those long passes, finding the spaces. And I think if Roberto Martinez intends to play with 3 centre-backs... If Roberto Martinez intends to play with 3 centre-backs, he's the best choice to play the part of the left centre-back, okay?
I'd put Antonio Silva,
No. Yeah, but it's a 3 centre-back system.
Yeah, Pep, Rúben Dias, and
but
Antonio
Pep
Silva.
Won't be there for long.
So it will be, if it's in the future, so Gonçalo Inácio. Well, Diogo Leite is having a great season too.
Yeah, Diogo Leite. It's been a surprise for me that he's been called
Union Berlin, great loan. Again, Porto, that wasn't the best decision from
Porto.
Porto.
I think the centre-back, I agree with all the centre-backs that were...
Silva is the best Portuguese young centre-back.
I agree with you.
Okay.
Right there. I agree with you right there. But let's put a pin on that and go back to it later because I have a question for you, and we'll go back to that. We'll go back to it. But talking about Sporting, I think it's so unfair that Nuno Santos and Pot weren't called up. Okay.
Like Florentine too.
They have been performing amazingly. Pot this year has 17 goals and 7 assists from the midfield. Because most of the time he's playing in the midfield, and he's not called up.
Who would you take?
I would take Otavio, for example, instead of Pot.
That's
At this moment, I would take Otavio because Pot is playing better than Otavio. I know, I like Otavio, but Pot deserves a chance. And if you look at not talking about Pot now, talking about the fullbacks, Nuno Santos deserves way more to be called than Rafael Guerreiro. Nuno Santos has been instrumental. I agree with you. If you look at it as an overall perspective during the last years, but at the moment, Nuno Santos is performing way better than Rafael.
And it's the first call-up of Roberto Martinez. I think
he wants to see the players.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's why I think he should have called up new blood.
But I think he did. He didn't call up William. And Gonçalo Inácio Light, like those are some bold mentions.
But listen,
like
looking at the squad he summoned, I'm guessing that now Palhinha has to be the starter, right?
Palhinha. But yes, yeah, I think so too. Palhinha.
Come on, I've been saying this for years now. Palhinha is a top 5 CDM in the world. But he deserves to start.
But do you think Ugarte will be better than Palhinha? Oh, I unlocked a new place in his brain.
I think Ugarte has the potential to be better than Palhinha.
Okay, I think so too.
He's younger. Ugarte is 21 years old. Palhinha is 27, I reckon.
And I'm gonna maybe trigger Florentine Luis.
Different type of player.
Yes.
I think he can reach the heights of Palhinha. Yes. But he's better on the ball than Palhinha.
Okay.
But off ball, I think he can't reach the level of Palhinha because I think Palhinha is just one notch ahead of most of the players in the world football right now, defensive-wise.
Okay, you're going bold. And just because I like this video if you're enjoying it until now, and we're going to go back to Sporting at the end too, but just to give some predictions at home too, there's another game, Leverkusen against Royal St. Gilloise. For me, huge shout out to Royal St. Gilloise that has the same owner as Brentford that uses data analysis, and they are doing a great job by coming to the Europa League.
Yeah, and they're most people don't know this, but they're an historical club in Belgium. They used to be one of the best clubs like 30, 40 years ago.
40s, yeah.
Or more even. But now they seem to regain their form. True. And yeah, it's really shocking, but I'm not surprised because Sporting played against them in the preseason and I watched the game. And I think Union Saint-Gilloise beat Sporting.
And they beat Braga. They beat Braga convincingly.
Yeah, in the Europa League, in the group stage, right?
Yeah.
And it's been a crazy season for them, and I really think they can surprise Bayer Leverkusen.
I agree with that. And I want to give a shout out to Boniface, Nigerian striker that has 5 goals in the Europa League. And if they are going to do something against this Leverkusen team that has Hincapi, Tapsoba, good centre backs in my opinion.
Hincapi is going to be one of the best, I reckon, in the future.
And Kusono, great centre back too. So, yeah, Boniface has to go bold. And Leverkusen, like, in terms of young talent, even manager.
Who you're going with?
I'll go Leverkusen on this one because I reckon Florian Wirtz back is a game changer for Leverkusen.
I'll go with Leverkusen as well, but I think it's going to be a tough one.
Moussa Diaby, like, you got a ton of players. So, Adam Holzek too, Patrick Schick. So, yeah, people, tell us down below your predictions. The other game, Feyenoord against Roma. Okay, what are your...
Feyenoord has been doing amazingly in the league this season. But that can be another point to mention because if they're doing so good in the league, will they compromise it to try and clinch the Europa League?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I think Feyenoord, they beat Shakhtar 7-1.
If you look...
Shakhtar, I was shocked.
But Shakhtar wasn't able to put in a lot of players they have in the pitch because of regulations and stuff. So it's normal that they end up losing by 7-1. But listen, for me, Feyenoord hasn't only won one league in the last 20 years, I think. So I think winning the league... Yeah, exactly. It's the Dutch Sporting. I think that it has much more value to them to win the league than the Europa League, okay? So being in the top spot in the league, I think they won't jeopardize it by trying and clinch the Europa League against Mourinho, okay?
They want to win both, though, man.
I know they want to win both, but I think if they have to prioritize one, they will prioritize the league. And even because they're against Roma, they're the dark horses
That's
because
true.
Roma, for me, is the clear favorite, and even so because Mourinho has that type of gene that he just performs. His teams perform in the knockout stages.
One-on-one knockout stage, Mourinho is the specialist.
He's amazing.
I completely agree. But going back with Feyenoord, I want to say Arne Slot, amazing coaching with this Feyenoord team. 20 games unbeaten. And for me, the thing that's shocking, Santiago Jimenez, great player, or Kun Koksu, great player. But they lost Orsens to Benfica. They lost Malacia to Man United. Senesi to and
Nobody was
Sinistera.
expecting a season like this after
And
that.
Sinistera, man. And they went to I think it was the Conference League finals too, with in the past with that team. So that was an elite result to get that, and they sold those players, and they have even better results now. So I want to give a shout out to Feyenoord because I really think they deserve it. And Santiago Jimenez, people, remember his name, one of the best Mexican talents. He's got 5 goals in the Europa League. And yeah, 4 million he cost Feyenoord in 2019.
Bargain, it's a bargain.
To Cruz Azul. So Feyenoord and the Eredivisie with young talents.
Really good scouting department.
Exactly. Eredivisie is very special. Very special league in terms of young talents. I hope that our Portuguese teams learn and have that recruitment. I see Vitória improving. Ibrahima Bamba's there and other players. But
yeah, we'll go there talking about scouting.
But I'll say Feyenoord just to go bold. But I think I won't say.
I will go
Feyenoord.
Roma, and I
buddy.
think on that side of the bracket, Roma and Leverkusen will go through.
So Roma, Leverkusen, and then we have Man United against.
That's the big boy game against Sevilla. I mean, man, Sevilla has a really good team. Alex Ellis is gonna find United again.
Oh, that's true.
I really
That's
appreciate the likes of Acuna, Gudel, Bono, the goalkeeper, who has done an amazing World Cup for Morocco. I think it's going to be a very tough one for United. And given the last few years and the tradition that Sevilla has in the Europa League, I think that Sevilla might have the edge on this one.
No, against United. I think United are going to go through, mate. Europa League side quest. Completely. Because Erik Ten Hag, if he's going to do a new culture at Man United, you instill new cultures by winning consistently. You need to show how to win to have a winning team in the future. That's how life works. And Erik Ten Hag, by getting the League Cup and then getting an Europa League in his first season, would show to the world that he's a winning coach and there's a winning mentality being instilled.
I agree with you,
in
Alex.
Man United.
But the thing is, Sevilla has nothing else to play for, and United has some other competitions to play for.
Third.
Yeah, I know, but they still have the FA Cup. They still need to compete in the league because the third spot is not secure in the league like the Premier League. So they will have a tough match week in, week out, and it's going to be very complicated to arrive to that game with the fitness level and the willingness to play that Sevilla players will have, because this is a chance for Sevilla. This is their competition.
True.
They will give it their all in this competition. So I think it's going to be a 50-50 knockout.
Imagine United.
But giving the tradition, I think Sevilla will go through.
That's bold. That's bold, mate.
Guys, come on. I love United, but I really do think Sevilla will show. Because
I wanted to ask you this, so. If you're picking Sevilla, it's because United are missing something still. And with the number 9 slot of Man United, who would you think should go for that position in the summer?
For the number 9 at United?
Mm-hmm.
I've said this once, and I really think someone should snatch him before they lose the chance. It's Mehdi Taremi. I think he's
to Man United.
I think he's a really, really good player. He deserves to be in a top team in the world.
Kane, Ozime.
Yeah, but
I think United gets
yeah, but come on.
Guarantees.
Kane would cost way above 100 mil, and you could get Taremi for 30 million easily.
Yeah.
And he's 29 years old,
18
okay?
months
He could
contract.
perform like for 3 years, and I really do think that he would surprise many people if he went to United.
But if it wasn't Taremi, of the top strikers, with Harry Kane, Ozime, and...
I would go for Osimhen, given what the season he's doing at Napoli. He's been amazing. I wasn't expecting, because we all know Osimhen for some time now. And he just seemed to, out of nowhere, like improve his goal scoring ability
much
at
more
least.
Consistent. Exactly.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
So yeah, you go Sevilla, I'm going United. But tell us down below in the comments your choices And any like now with
And
sports.
fun fact, United has only met Spanish teams in the knockouts this year.
Oh, mas esse Real Sociedade. Oh, mas
Real
Villarreal.
Sociedad,
Villarreal. Oh, meu Deus. So,
and
yeah.
now Sevilla, yeah.
Now Sevilla. So
We
let's
have
see.
a clash here, La Liga against Premier League.
That's true. And any last mentions with Sporting?
Yeah, I think if you want to say if I think Sporting are favorites to go through, or you want to, no, you want me to say who's the favorite
No,
is?
you reckon Sporting's gonna go through with Juve?
Once again, I said that Juve was the worst possible draw for Sporting because they need to win the Europa League to get into the Champions League next year. But I think Sporting will go through. Now, at least they have a chance. And I've looked at the likelihood to win the Europa League. Sporting is currently 5th for the favorites to win the Europa League.
What?
And given the side of the bracket Sporting are on, it's a very good stat.
That's true.
It's a very good stat. So, yeah, I think the Sporting has their chances, but I think it will be 50-50. But I don't think Juventus should underrate Sporting because if Sporting knocked out a very good Arsenal side, I think Sporting can knock out any team in the Europa League. Okay?
This is gonna be bold, man. Juventus, Sporting. I'm gonna say this: the Sporting team keeps on surprising me, and it's because of Rúben Amorim. Rúben Amorim, when I said the Matheus Nunes leaving,
So good tactically.
leaving,
He's so good tactically. He reads the game. He's a natural.
It's true, and
Even
Rúben
Mourinho Mourinho texted Rúben Amorim after the match saying the old one and the new one are through.
Exactly.
And that's even Mourinho recognizes the ability Rúben Amorim has to read the game. It's amazing, man.
And Rúben Amorim will stay at Sporting until 2026. He extended his contract recently. And I want to say, Diamant, people, if you don't know about him, please search it out.
And that's what I was going to ask you.
Sporting, 7.5 million.
Who do you reckon will be better in the future, Diamant or Antonio Silva?
Antonio Silva.
No, I'll go with Diamant.
For me, Antonio Silva is going straight to Real Madrid. He doesn't need to
I'm
go to the Premier
I'm
League.
going with Diamant, and I'm going to tell you why. And it's not because I'm a Sporting fan.
Look,
okay?
Antonio Silva has such a elite
Man,
mentality.
who's better on
with
the
him.
ball, Diamant or Antonio Silva?
I think Antonio Silva is reliable now.
No, but on the ball, who's better?
Look, Diamant's great on the ball.
Yeah, but okay, pin on that, pin. Let's see. Diamant, 2 months ago, was playing at Mafra. Most of the people don't even... What's Mafra? People don't even recognize it. No, Portuguese people know it, but like people from the UK, from France, from Spain... What the hell is Mafra?
Yeah.
Okay, Mafra is a second division team in Portugal. It's not even competing to go through to the first division, and he was playing there. And Sporting paid 7.5 million to Midtjylland. Okay, and everybody was like, "They're losing their minds. Come on, paying 7.5 million for a player who's playing the Portuguese second division is almost an amateur." What is he doing here? Almost. I said almost.
No.
Listen.
Great levels in the second.
Yeah, that's true,
Portuguese
but. Okay, but like from people from the UK,
Okay.
it would be impossible from Diamant to go from the second division to the Prem.
I really believe if I was a director of sports in a League One team or a Championship team, I would 100% be looking. Not even just the Segunda Divisão.
Listen,
instead of Liga
Alex,
2.
Yeah, that's true.
I would.
It has quality, the third league. But Diamant, he's playing against Arsenal. Like, for the first time, he's almost playing in a competitive type of match. And he's playing like he was doing groceries, man. He was so chilled on the ball. The physical ability. He was winning balls to every single Arsenal player. With Xhaka, with beasts, you know? And he was up there winning the headers. He was doing the interceptions, the tackles. And, man, the ability, he had he was so calm on the ball. Like, he didn't stress out when he had 2 or 3 players blocking him.
Was that one of the best performances you've seen from a 19-year-old at Sporting?
For sure.
Diamant,
Diamant is the type of player that you don't need more than 1 minute watching him play to say this guy is going to be elite level. And I really think that he's going to be the biggest sale ever for Sporting, Diamant. I'm really certain of it.
So you have Ugarte, Diamant, Marcus Edwards maybe in the future?
Even Saint-Just. Sporting recovered Saint-Just. He had injury problems at Mainz, but everybody knew that he was the fastest defender on the Bundesliga.
Si.
And now
Guardiola too.
he against Arsenal, he registered 37.7 kilometers per hour, a center back. Come on, that's crazy. That's Mbappe levels.
Hey!
That's Mbappe levels in terms of speed.
Mbappe or Mudryk, Wesley Fofana.
That's true, but that's true for a center back.
That's
We're not
true.
used to seeing that. And funny story, when I was leaving the Sporting match, the first leg at home, I met 3 guys from the UK, Man United fans actually, and they told me, who the hell was that guy number 3? Is he a winger? Like, because he was running so much and through the wing and back, and they were just shocked at the quality that St. Just had, and not only off ball, on the ball as well. I think he surprised me a lot, St. Just.
And then again, people, you see how highly Pedro's talking about him, and I will guarantee you, this guy will be an elite sale from Sporting in the near future, because there's not a lot of under 20 center backs that are as good.
No, talking
as
about
Diamant.
Diamant, not St. Just.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, because now I was mentioning St. Just.
No, but St. Just, yeah, great player too. I think he offers more guarantees because he's older, more experienced, and he's a leader in that team. You see the Pot relationship too with St. Just. I agree too that Pot is highly underrated too. Even when I was saying that biggest sales in the future, Pot, obviously, Ugarte, Diamant, you have a lot of quality players, and people really watch this Sporting Juventus. A lot in stake for both teams, and it's going to be a competitive game.
And we still have to mention Chermiti as well.
Chermiti,
His ability to hold on to the ball. And even if he doesn't score, he was really important the way he got into the pitch. And Sporting was defending the result and just sending those long balls. And he was holding it.
Mate, holding was having problems with Chermiti. With Chermiti's holding play.
And he only has 18 years old. And he already has this physical ability.
And Esugu just turned 18. So
it's crazy.
Amazing.
But yeah, if I had to pinpoint a player in Sporting squad, it's Diamant, and I really do think that Diamant will be the biggest sell ever for Sporting.
So you heard it here first. If you enjoyed this video with Europa League predictions and comments, please like this video, and again, comment down below who do you think will win the Europa League. Thank you for going bold, people.